Hey gang, this is Vicky Kelly. Sorry for the late post tonight, but I've been traveling all day. But I was able to trade this morning, and so I want to show you some of the trades that set up for today. The first one set up pre-market again. This has been happening the last week or so, where the actual top of the pattern will be pre-market, and it doesn't give us an entry until market opens. But as you can see, we still could have captured about 13 points here. We have our confirmations, and again, this would have been the 9:30 closed at 9:30, so we would not have entered until this candle here. We could have entered here at this level here and then targeted our target level here. Now that would have been a little risky move because of how the open is and how volatile it can be. So there was no fault if you didn't take that. I was able to capture those few points though, seeing how it was making long moves. It was going to continue for a bit at least. And so we were able to capture about 13 points there. And then we saw it reverse. And I drew my lines here. It was kind of a strange place to draw. But the reason I did that was because of this spike move here and a pullback to the 100 level. And so we would have entered with our confirmations here. So we would have entered here and been able to take our profit here. And that would have given us about 16, 17 points had we been able to capture all of that. And then you can see that it just continued to just kind of go sideways to up. And there were a couple different ways that you could play this. First of all, we had a sell signal, barely a sell signal, but a sell signal nonetheless. Sometimes it will do that, and you just take your stop outs because you know 2 out of 3 times it's going to work. And you can see here that it did go a little bit below this. And so I entered here and got stopped out here. But notice this is only a 4 point energy line, so I only lost about 4.5 points here. And instead of the whole 10, because remember that our line goes up here. Now, while this was going on, I was thinking to myself, is this just going to wiggle around and come on back down? Or is it going to give us a follow-on buy signal? And sometimes it's a little tricky at the top of some of these, but you notice how this couldn't even make it down to the 200 level. And so I'm like, well, that probably is going to be a follow-on buy signal. And so I set my lines up this way from this spike down to about here. And as you can see, that is exactly what that ended up being, was a follow-on buy signal. But when it spiked up like this and gave us what looked like it could end up being a sell signal, this is where I knew it was time to be done. I had made almost 27, almost 30 points. On the rest of those, I'd lost 4. So it was still a great day. But this is what told me that it was time to just let them figure it out. Because remember, when our yellow lines get too close together, then it's probably going to go sideways for a little while, and it sure did. Now, generally, when it finishes all of this chop, it continues on the direction that it was going, which is exactly what it did here. And I could have stayed in and played all of that. But again, I had to travel today. And so when I saw that this was setting up to get some choppy move, I just let it go, closed out my position, and went on about my business. But you could have stayed into that one. It would not have been wrong to take this short, but again, you'd have gotten stopped out. But that's a little bit more of an advanced move to take this as a follow-on buy signal. So if you missed that, that's understandable. But still a great day. Still made lots of points, and got to do the rest of my work that I had to get done as I traveled today. So I hope that you are following along, and those of you who are in the live room are enjoying making some profits together and learning a little bit more about how to draw the lines and everything. But everybody out there, I want you to stay safe and good luck trading.